is part 2 of the video. Dr. Brace went in. If you missed part 1, you really need to see that, because she talked about how to get your hair growing. She talked about the 3 things that's really going to grow your hair. I didn't even think about deep breathing. I didn't really think about that. Like, what is that? But that's a thing. Oh, and she talked about how to maintain the growth. She really gave you some information about vaccines, vitamins, things that I didn't even really think that could be affecting hair. So now we're going to get into all those questions that you guys asked me to ask her. She answered them, and she gave answers within answers, because you know Dr. Brace is on it. I'm very excited about this. Sit back. Make sure you share with anybody who is on a journey to grow your hair. You know how we do these hair growth journeys. It's the new year coming up too. It's about that time. So I see you. Here's part 2.
The first question, the young lady said, okay, over 40.
Okay.
She just wanted to know what can she do for healthier hair. She's taking biotin and neonatal vitamin just for hair.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to say for healthy hair for women over 40.
Okay. So over 40, the main reason that we'll start, our hair starts lacking the tensile strength and things like that is because our hormones are changing. And we actually start seeing it in about 32 when we look closely. I see it at 32. So basically, it's going to be your diet once again. There are a lot of things that we do younger, of course, that it's affecting us. We think it's not. Let's take, for instance, sugar. Taking in sugar. We think it's not affecting us. If we're building up a little bit of sugar, starting at our feet and working its way up as we get older and older, or by the time we get too old, those things takes toll on us. We have to switch our diet. We're going into now a more natural, organic type of diet for the best nutrients possible, because we have worn ourselves out with all the bad things we did as a teenager, as a child. It doesn't matter. So, but we can switch it around because we know that the body's made to heal itself in the right environment. So we have a nice alkaline body. We have to do our good nutrients to go along with it. I do a lot of organic fruit and vegetables. I don't eat any meat except seafood. So you have to change it according to your diet. And the reason I don't eat anything but seafood is because I have scarring type of alopecia. And I'm managing to keep my hair on my head, although I feel it in my scalp. My sister, my mother, even my niece under me don't have hair. And I changed my diet because I was raised with my mom, and like we all are, we eat like they'd eat, not me. I changed it completely. I didn't want to do it. And so now I have my hair. Of course, this is braids, but got my hair. And I had a spot probably like the size of a dime in the top of my head. And it's been there for 6 years, because when it scars, it doesn't come back. But scarring alopecia spreads fast. And that's why I always tell people, when you see that spot, you need to see somebody right away. And I kept my hair, and I bought back some of the people's hair from this, just doing the diet. Biotin is a good strengthener for the hair. It's a strengthener. Biotin is not necessarily a grower. If you get too much biotin, it will actually interfere with medical tests and giving you a false positive. Yes. So now I take multivitamin that is organic. It's an organic multivitamin. Okay. And it has to be something organic, because I know that in certain vitamins that my clients were taking, I stopped them from taking it because they had that heavy metal overload. And it would show me, and I said, you're taking something. And one girl told me for a year and a half, she wasn't taking anything, but her hair wouldn't grow back in the back. So finally, I just got tired and said, okay, look, I've been doing your hair for a year and a half. You taking something. What are you putting in your mouth? How about that? And she told me her multivitamin. It's a regular vitamin everybody heard of. And that's what was causing it. Stopped taking it, and now her hair is down her back 3 years later. So I knew she had that metal. So I said, you need organic. So I always tell people over 40 in general, I don't care if you're mercury overload or whatever, take an organic vitamin. It says organic on the box.
And we think we're doing good by taking the vitamins.
Exactly. Yes. And they put it in there because it's just a preservative. Lets it sit on the shelf for a long period of time.
And you said scarring alopecia. Now, I just thought alopecia just meant you're losing hair. I didn't know it was so many different types.
Yes.
And is that genetic?
Yes. That is very genetic. And the type is actually called central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia, CCCA, also known as scarring. And why is it scarring? Because that type of CCCA is caused by inflammation and hormones. And when the inflammation heals, it heals in a scar. So that scar keeps your hair from growing back. So you have to take the inflammation down before it gets too bad. That's why I tell people, get to it as soon as you know. Get to it as soon as you know.
Oh, you just wear your wigs, wear your sew-ins. You just don't address it because you can hide it now.
Yes. And then the bad part about hiding it is, for one, you just said something, a sew-in is going to take it out more because it's weak hair. But the bad part about hiding it is that you still haven't addressed the underlying issue that's inside that's causing the hair loss. That's the bad part about hiding it. And I'll give you a perfect example. My mother, with the scarring alopecia, as I say, the scarring, I told my mother, I said, you never change your diet. You still eat inflammatory foods. It's not about your hair. It's about your body. So now you're inflaming the body constantly. So you're deteriorating the body. When you do that, you're looking at diabetes, cancer, heart disease, because you're breaking down cells. And when you break down cells, that's when things move in. To include COVID, it's your immune system that keeps it strong. And my mother died of cancer.
Oh my God.
Just this May. And as I'm talking to her, telling her this, I said, you never change. And I told you to change. She's on her deathbed. But she's talking to me about it and saying, because my head hurts really bad. Her scalp was still hurting. It tells you it's inflamed. But people keep doing the same. Forget the hair. That's what I tell them when they sit in my chair. Forget the hair. This is your body. You have to have a body to have hair. So think about it that way. This is telling you there's something going on in here. I need you to check me. Your flower, your plant is telling you that the stem is wrong. It's sick. So you never address it. You throw a wig on. You think it's okay. And, down the line, you go.
My goodness.
Yeah. So my sister got scared and now she asked me, okay, change me up.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah, she already lost the hair and she was like, I can't lose weight. I've tried to lose weight. I can't do this. And she had all kinds of things that, we're working on now. She started losing weight. So that told me right there that we're on the right path.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, well, you are needed in this space. So you're needed to help us out.
Oh God, never me.
Yes, but still, I'm glad he put it in you to learn so you can help us. And I'm glad you're able to help your family.
Yeah.
Lord. Okay. Well, that was a good answer. Thank you. And then the next question I had was, this is scientific as well. And I say the same thing. I would say your hair's growing all the time. But my subby said, I don't understand hair phases. How can our hair be in a shedding phase and growing at the same time? It doesn't make sense. Can you just simplify hair phases?
Okay, so your hair is in an anagen stage, 80% of it.
Is that
so growth? That's why that's the growth stage. I'm sorry. Yes, the anagen is the growth stage. That's why you have so much hair on your head. You're only shedding the telogen stage. The telogen stage comes out. That's the shedding. You're only shedding about 20%. So that's how it's growing and shedding at the same time. Now imagine if we all grew at once and all fell out at once. We all would be in a ball, running around bald-headed saying, oh, she's in her telogen stage. We would know that.
Oh, so the phases are happening in different spots?
Yes.
Like this side could be in a androgen phase and this side could be in a
In a telogen stage, right?
Really?
So this is the anagen, this is catagen, this one's telogen. So it's 3 stages. So all the different follicles are doing something, but most of them are in the anagen stage.
Oh, good.
So we won't lose all of it at once. So you're supposed to lose 80 to 100 strands a day.
Ooh.
Okay. And if you lose more than that, we got a problem. If you're losing anagen hairs, which have a black bulb at the end, we really have a problem because that's the growth stage. If you lose a white bulb at the end, that's how it's supposed to be. That's the telogen stage. But if you lose more than 80 to 100 of the white bulbs, something is going wrong. And it could be something small, like if your immune system isn't great and you get strep throat, you can lose a lot of hair because your immune system. But if I got a cold, I might not lose any because my immune system is good. So it depends on your body's immune system.
Oh, now that makes sense. And this phase must be long because I used to almost sit on my hair, and I guess it was years, maybe 4 or 5 years is the anagen phase. You know, in our minds, we think it's like maybe months or so, but it could be years, right? That your hair is
right. It is actually. It's a gather between 5 to 8 years, and you get different. You can look at different sites, and it'll tell you different. I've seen 3 to 4 years, but if you see a person and they've been growing their hair, I've been growing it for 6 years, and it's really long. You know, it's not 3 to 4. So it's give or take a person. But I always say it's got to be between 3 to 8 or 5 to 8. It's a longer period for different people.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more question, but before I ask, I didn't believe when this my coworker said, "Well, my hair never goes past my shoulders; it just won't." I didn't believe her. But if her phase stops right there, is that true?
If that's her DNA, that could possibly be, but then it also could be. I've seen a lot of people hair come to their shoulder and it starts breaking at the ends. Why? Yeah. Because it's rubbing a bunch of cotton. Cotton is going to dry you out. And when you see just the ends tattered, that tells you right there, okay, it's something you're doing to the ends of your hair. It doesn't just break for no reason. That's cotton rubbing, and it will actually dry your hair out. Cotton is for your panties. That's some breathable, you know. That's what that's for. Okay.
Keep it dry.
That's it. Exactly. We don't want our hair to be dry. No. Hair is actually held together with small amounts of water. So water is your glue that holds one string of hair together. And that comes from your blood internally. That's why I say drink your water, because you don't want your hair to dry out. That's why we say dry hair, breaking and brittling. That's what it is. Anemia, breaking and brittling. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Now I feel much better.
Okay,
I know
good.
Good. I tell her she need to protect her ends. You might get a little longer hair. Okay, yeah. And then the other question was just why your hair grows unevenly. I've not seen that.
So a lot. Now I've actually seen one lady that the back of her hair actually came down in an angle. And it was because she wrapped her hair for years, and it was what she was wrapping with. So one side was shorter than the other. That's only one reason. The other one is a lot of people sleep on one side. And when I'm doing hair and I comb it and I say, you sleep on your right side? And they go, yeah, how'd you know? It's thinner than this side. You can actually see it. I mean, she didn't see it, but my mind is trained to see it. So I see it, and I get that quite a bit. Even with the sweating, because you're on one side all the time. So it's almost like you just draining everything to one side. You know, that's what it's like. Really? Even when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to sleep on your right side. You're supposed to sleep on your left side. The baby gets more air that way. So it's the same for your body. So which side you sleep on all the time, you got to switch it up. You got to circulate you got to get that circulation going. You can't be stagnant. And that's a big reason for that.
What?
Yeah, just that simple. It really is.
Oh my gosh. So it's just that we're just more dominant use on one side. That's why your hair seems like it's growing much faster. Right.
We're creatures of habit.
All right. Yeah. Man, doctor. This was fantastic. This is gonna be one of my favorites.
Oh, good.
Oh my goodness. I just feel like there's so much I don't know and what I wish I knew. And
there's so much more behind this. So, it's a lot. I'm still learning. So it's so wonderful though to know it. So it helps a lot of people. And it's so funny, Christy, I named my shop The Remedy in 2004, and I became a trichologist in 2013, I think it was. It was like
it was destined.
Prophetic proclamation, right? I was like, wow. So, so I'm at The Remedy. And I also, I do a lot of Zoom classes with Influence Hair Care.
Okay.
I actually asked Influence to make a product for me, and which is the Rosemary line. And it's a natural line, Rosemary. And it was needed because there were shampoos out there for different scalp disorder like seborrheic dermatitis.
Yes.
But there was nothing out there for shampoos for like CCCA alopecia, androgenetic alopecia, alopecia areata. And I wanted something that could cover all of those. And I told him what I needed in a product, and he made it. I actually turned down the first three.
But
the fourth one was good. And I said, that's the one. Okay. So I use that a lot in my trichological services. I don't want to use anything medical because I feel like all medicines will target what they're supposed to. Let's take chemo. Target the bad cells, but it targets good cells too. So I didn't want anything that was going to actually tear the hair up while I'm trying to get the scalp right. So that was my whole purpose to asking him to do that. And I use that in my services, even at the dermatologist's office.
So it's still gentle on the hair while it's help healing the scalp.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, and that's one of the other things. I remember your questionnaire, you asked like, what was the most things that I see? And it was scar and alopecia, seborrheic dermatitis.
Is that just dandruff or what is it like?
It's like dandruff on steroid. I mean, very, very thick. And sometimes it has a smell. Okay. So basically what it is a yeast on the scalp. We have Candida yeast with this yeast in the vaginal area. Then we have Malacia yeast with this yeast on the scalp. Okay, so I see a lot of that. And that's concerning me with this scar and alopecia also, because I'm like, why is it so much of this now? And it's the food, because when I get to the bottom of it, I know what it is that you're eating, what not to eat, tell you don't eat this, eat it. It's so much behind that. So that concerns me quite a bit. But we do get to the bottom of it. And, I had one girl with seborrheic dermatitis, and I said, she wanted color. And I said, you can't get color to get that scalp right. So she got a scalp right so she can get color. So that tells me that, okay, so you follow directions.
Yes.
Yeah.
We want to look good.
Yes. Yes.
So you are going to have to tell us, how do we connect with you? How do we reach you? When are you going to have this class? What are your services? Let us know.
So I am at Virginia Dermatology, and that is in Norfolk, Virginia Dermatology. It's you can check it out on the website, Google it, and you can get appointments from there. I will give you the number, though. It's 757-455-5009. Tuesday through Saturday, I am at my baby, which is the Themedyhairsalon. I love doing hair, so I will not stop. My salon booking is probably about 3 to 4 weeks out. So you will not get an appointment the day you call. I just want to warn people right off now. Okay.
Thank you so much. Any last words? Okay. Anything you want anybody to know?
Let me think. I just want to really make sure to tell people, if the hair is coming out, do not put a chemical in it. And I don't know why I have to say that, because I thought it would be common sense, but it's not. Don't put a chemical if your hair is coming out. It's like putting soda in a cut.
Oh.
Okay. So we don't want to do that. So please, if it's coming out, the earlier detection, the better. you have a better chance of it growing back. If those follicles lay dormant, your hair will not come back. Okay. Yeah, don't look like that.
I've been trying to look at people like there's hope, you know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to look forward to hearing more from you.
Sure.
You have blessed us.